So you can, there it goes, and it's recorded. So welcome to our team call. Not February, what am I, September 22nd. I am thinking way ahead. September 22nd, guys. Hey, honey. Honey's on the call. Hey, guys. All right, so we'll get started. I'm going to jump in right in so I can respect everybody's time. I know we are all busy people, but thanks for being on. I really appreciate you being on. Give me some of your time. Okay. Let's see. Could everyone see that fairly okay? The hot pink. All right. So this is what I always talk about towards the end of the month. It's those of you who have 2, 4, maybe even 0 points on the board with Changing Lives Club, with Success Club. You know, we don't slow down. Like if you're running a race, if you've ever been in a 5K or 10K or marathon or half marathon, when we see that finish line, we don't slow down, right? You keep going as fast as you can and you finish that race the very best that you can. Whether you were finished in first place or you finish in last place, that's not what matters. What matters is how hard you try and the effort that you put in that race. So the same thing with Success Club, with Changing Lives Club, right? Obviously, the goal is to hit 5. That's ideal, and we want everyone to hit 5. But if you don't, you know, you just don't. And what matters is that you tried, you gave it your all, that you go to sleep every single night telling yourself, I did everything I possibly could today to change some lives. So we have 8 days left in the month, tons of time. But I think next time I see you guys, so we have another call. Oh no, that'll be the 29th, so it won't be the end of the month. But anyways, just think about this, you know, towards the end of the month, don't slow down, don't give up. So there's 2 kinds of coaches. There's a coach who even on the last day, I've seen crazy things happen on the last day. I've had coaches before go from 0 to 6 on the very last day of the month. So you can either be, you know, coach A, oh, what's the point? There's like 5 days left, whatever. Like, I'm not going to hit it. Why even bother? I'll just try again next month. Or there's coach B who says and thinks, heck, like there are 3, 5 whole days. I can do everything in my power to try to change more lives. I'm going to try until 11:59 Eastern time, and I'm not going to give up to that very last second. So it depends on what kind of coach you are, you know, either type A or type B, kind of like, you know, you see that glass half empty, half full kind of thing. All right, but let's get in it. Oh, I wanted to go back to that. There's so many of you who right now are sitting at 4. That's always like, oh, like you can do it one more. Like, don't end them. If you're at 4, don't end the month at 4. Push hard, do everything in your power to get that last one. But so far, Briseida has hit it for the first time as a coach. So way to go, girl. Casey has hit it. Carly, Alma Cortez, and Carla and myself have achieved Success Club, Changing Lives Club. And then so many of you are at 4. Well, as of, I checked today, I don't know as of yesterday. So Laura is at 4, Maria Perez 4, Molly Griffin 4, Rosa Ceja 4, Jessica 4, Brittany 4, Angela 4, Shannon 4, Brianna 4, Carrie 4, Christy 4. So many of you are at 4. So you can do it. Just hit it. Just work hard. Do everything that basically got you to 4, but just double and triple it these last 8 or 9 days. Oh, you got it. Yay! Angela just got it. Hit Success Club in the very first month as a coach. You go, girl. It's so exciting. I knew you were working so hard, so congratulations. And next month, you'll earn that call with Carl Deichler. Oh, so exciting. You go, girl. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to push, right? All right, so I want to jump in really quick. I asked in the event what questions you have for me. So I want to jump into these first, just in case I ran out of time. I want to make sure I answer your questions first. So a question that Haley had, she says, I'm struggling with who to add on social media. Well, and I hope you guys don't mind that I use, your name on here. We're all family, it's all good. I'm struggling with who to add on social media, what to look for, how to find people who are fitness motivated. She says, I want to build a team that will eventually want to work the business, not just discount coaches. So this is what I do personally on Facebook. Honestly, on Facebook, I add everyone who I have at least 10 mutual friends with. So on Facebook, I'm not necessarily looking for people who are already into fitness, because if you think about it, a lot of times the people who need us, who need to be in our challenge groups, are people who are not into fitness yet. Because a lot of times people who are already into fitness, they're good, right? Like they're going to the gym, or they're already doing whatever they're doing, and they're good. They don't need us help. Not everyone, of course, but most of the time they don't need our help anymore. It's actually the people who are not into fitness, who have nothing, a connection with fitness, who need us the most. And so on Facebook, if I have 10 mutual friends or more, boom, I'm adding them as a friend. And I said 10 or more, sometimes even 5 or more, because odds are the more mutual friends that we have in common, that person is going to add me, because they're going to think, I know her, I must, she's added me, whatever. So that's what I look for on Facebook. Now on Instagram, the cool thing about Instagram is that you can find like-minded people. So when I was a new coach back in two years ago, it's not even that long ago, it feels like forever. My first coaches actually, like Cindy was one of my first coaches, Rachel, I have Carrie, I have a lot of coaches that came from Instagram. I think Laura came from Instagram too. I mean, that's because on Instagram, you can use hashtags to find like-minded people like you. So, any kind of, fitness freak, all those hashtags. And I've done a training on Instagram. Of course, I'm not an expert or anything, but I've shared before, and I can try to look for it in my YouTube videos and share it with you guys on that. But, Instagram is more, something else. Shalene Johnson has an Instagram academy. I think it's like $100. I bought that when I was a new coach, and it was an investment, but it was so worth it. I learned everything that I know from Instagram. I learned from that academy. So you Google Shalene Johnson Instagram Academy, it will come up. So I highly, highly, highly encourage you guys to make that investment on that training, on that academy. But if you're not, there yet to make that investment yet, go to YouTube. There's tons of people who have made free training videos on Instagram, and you can learn so much without having to pay on that. Now, the next thing that I will say is, in the beginning, I would say probably almost my first whole year, I was targeting discount coaches. My team was mainly made up of discount coaches, and that's okay, because those discount coaches a lot of times make the best business building coaches later on. And the reason I say that is because they start off as a discount coach, right? Just for the discount, they're in your challenge groups. They get results. They start to fall in love with these products, and they naturally become coaches. I have tons of you guys who used to be my discount coaches. One of them is Mayra, one of our leaders. Angela, who just hit Success Club for her first month. Actually, she wasn't a discount coach. She was just a challenger in my challenge group. Yeah. So, never discount the discount coaches, because those are the ones that they just naturally start to coach, and they naturally fall in love with this stuff. What else was I going to say about that? And that's how a lot of coaches do it. You get people in your challenge group, even if they're not discount coaches, challengers, love on them, give them the VIP service, be there for them. Like I've said before, many times before, don't just throw people in a challenge group and then never love on them, never motivate them, never, connect with them again. No, you are kind of molding them to one day, maybe they will be so inspired by their own results and by you, you loving on them, that they'll want to coach. And so what I did as a new coach, let's just say I had some challenges for a while, and I even did that to Angela. I message people in my challenge groups who I see post the most, who I see interact the most, and I'll message them. I try to give them at least 30 days, and I'll say something like, hey, I just want to let you know, have you ever thought about doing what I do? And I ask you because, you know, you're doing a great job posting and you would make an amazing coach on my team. Have you ever thought about that? So even if they say no, you plant that seed in their mind. They're going to keep thinking about it. I think Mari too. Mari just joined. A lot of my coaches either start as discount coaches or challengers. It's kind of not rare, but I have more that start that way, as opposed to, you know, some that just come in like, all right, I want to work this business, you know, who have never worked with me before. Yeah, I do have some, but mostly start in my challenge groups. And it's a process. It takes time. It definitely takes time, but I felt like the coaches who made the, you know, the best coaches, the coaches who become lifers, the coaches who are in this for the long run, they are usually the challengers and the discount coaches, because we already have that relationship. They're already in love with Shakeology and the products, as opposed to someone who comes in the business with the business mind, not necessarily to say they're not going to do good, but if they've never drank Shakeology, they've never done any products, they're just not as passionate yet about them. Okay, and then Angela had a question. I already answered it, but I just want to make sure I answered it so everyone, because the question will come up. So she had a customer under a different coach, and she switched that customer to her. And so when Angela or Angie she tried to use the coach app to then help this customer buy Shakeology. So what happens is that the coach app, the TBB coach app, you can only use it for new customers. Even if that customer is new to you, she was already a customer under someone else. So that's why you couldn't help her buy Shakeology. You have to send them your link to do that. So if that happens to you guys in the future, remember the TBB coach app is only for new customers, or if this is the first time they're going to be a coach or a discount coach, then it will work. All right, and then Mila says she's seen a lot of coaches posting help wanted ads on Instagram and other social medias. She says, I've been a coach for almost 2 months now. Do you think it's a good idea for a newbie to do that? Yeah, of course. You can be a coach for one day. You can already start to tell people about this amazing business opportunity. Definitely. So that's why we have like the 3-day sneak peek group that starts tomorrow. That's, the purpose of it, for you guys to go out and invite people who you think would make awesome coaches on our team. It doesn't matter if you've been a coach for 1 day or 1 year, you have a lot to offer. And the cool thing about the sneak peek groups is that we do it as a team. So it's not like up to you, right? Because it's very nerve-wracking to have to explain this business opportunity to other people. So the sneak peek group gets off that pressure off of you, and we explain the whole coaching opportunity as a team. If you've been in the sneak peek group, we share videos, and I take on the responsibility of the leader of running the group and creating the videos and posting the videos, and then I ask some of my leaders to share their why stories so people can kind of hear from a variety of us. So yes, definitely always have in mind, be looking at your challengers like, she'd make a good coach, or he'd make a good coach. So then when the sneak peek group comes around, boom, you already have a list of people to invite. And, I give you guys a schedule way ahead of time. So actually I need to start working on October schedule. And so, but the 3-day sneak peek group is always the last week of each month. So all month long, you can be inviting people, right? Don't wait until the very last week. All month long, be inviting people to the sneak peek group, and just let them know it's going to start on this day, but hey, I think you make awesome coach. Again, it could be people who aren't really into fitness, or it could be someone who you see always check in in the gym, or they do Zumba, or they do CrossFit, and just be like, hey girl, like I see you're always doing Zumba, and we have this, I think you make a great coach. We have this 3-day information group coming up. Can I add you to that? Right? You're not going to die from asking. They're either going to say yes or no, and that's it. But you got to be inviting people. Like, the more people that you invite into this group, odds are the more people you'll have to add to your team. Okie dokie. So thanks for hope I answered those questions for you, ladies. All right, so let's get started. This topic is actually going to tie in with last week's topic. If you weren't on the team call last week and you have not gone back to watch the recording, please do so this can kind of make sense. But we were talking about last week how the last quarter of Beachbody business, the last quarter being October, November, December, tends to be the slowest quarter of Beachbody business. And it kind of makes sense, right? Holidays, candy, holidays, cold weather. People aren't that interested, or fitness and health and eating healthy is not their number one priority versus when they had to get in a bikini a few months ago. I mean, that's just the nature of this business. You know, like take, for example, any ice cream place, Baskin Robbins, Dairy Queen, whatever. I can imagine them being super busier in the summer versus in the winter. I'm sure they still have people go in the winter, probably me, but probably not as much as in the summer. That's just the nature of some business. Probably, no, Starbucks probably is not, because people get coffee all the time. That's not a good example. But, you know, just try to think of other businesses that it's just the nature of the business. You're going to have crazy busy months, and then you're going to have months where it's not as busier. So the way I like to think of it is like a relationship, right? You're with your spouse, with your partner, with your significant other. You're going to be in that relationship in the good times and in the bad times. And I say this because I've seen so many coaches who are fired up and they're motivated and they're all in during the good times. And then bad times come around and they give up. They just throw in the towel and they give up. It's not how this, it's not how this business or any business works, or anything in life that you're doing. If you are really in it, and you're in it, both feet 100%, you have to be there during the good times and be there during the bad times. So I'm letting you know, and I let you know in the call from last week, that the last quarter of the year tends to be a little more challenging and difficult to motivate people. Now, that's not to say it's impossible to hit Success Club, right? So I also said that, like, don't use that excuse, oh, well, if Leticia said the last quarter's hard, so I'm not gonna hit Success Club this month, or it's okay if I don't hit Success Club this month. Nope, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying we're gonna work harder, we're gonna get creative, and we're gonna help each other even more now during this last quarter to still inspire people and motivate people, because it's gonna be a little tougher, but it's not impossible at all. This is gonna be my third fall and winter with Beachbody, and I've hit Success Club every single month. Yeah, it's harder for me during this last quarter, but I've still been able to get it. So just keep that in mind. It'll pass, right? The last quarter of the year will pass and things will go back to normal. Not only that, but it's gonna be amazing come like December-ish. First, Hammer and Chisel's coming out in December. Whoop. Second, Christmas, people are buying Christmas gifts and getting ready for New Year's resolutions. So we just have to get through October and November, but you gotta stick it out. You gotta understand this is just part of the business. This is the nature of this business. It's gonna get better. I'm not gonna get discouraged. I'm not gonna say I'm quitting. I'm not gonna do any of that, because like Leticia said, it will pass. It's part of the business. All right, so we're gonna get creative. And I just kind of wanna share some things that other coaches have done this last quarter, and some things that I have done in the last quarter to just kind of get creative, still be there for people, motivate people, because like I said last week in the call, this is the time where we want to lead by example. We want to still be doing our workouts and posting about our recipes, posting about our challenges, getting good results. Us leading by example, and us, getting progress and getting results. That's not to say that we have to paint a pretty picture and say we're perfect and we're not going to eat, tamales and turkey and all that good stuff. Yeah, we are too. We're human, but we're going to show, hey, we're still working out, we're still staying active, because this is a lifestyle, lifelong lifestyle journey. It's not like just, getting fit for the summer or getting fit for spring break. We have to lead the way with showing this is something that we do forever, every single day. And we fall, and we come back, and we have turkey, and then we come back, and we have tamales, and we come back, and then we have tamales for like 3 months, and then we come back, right? But we just have to be there. So something, I've never done this one, but I've heard it's had great results, and I've heard other coaches have done it, is a Crock Pot challenge group. Again, I've never done it, but if you go to Pinterest, you can find tons of Crock Pot recipes. So this could be something. I'm not saying that I'm going to do all of these challenges, because I might not, depending on, how much time I have. And then I run the Spanish groups and I run the English group. So, but you can always post in our coach group and say, hey, does anyone want to pair up and think of ideas of something we can do? You could, so you don't have to do it by yourself. Ask around, get together. You can run these as 2 people, 3 people as a group, whatever. But something that I like to do is I like to look ahead. That's why I'm bringing this up, right? I mean, you don't have to do this tomorrow, but I just want you to start thinking about this, and always look at your calendar and plan ahead of what you could do. For me personally, I like to do short groups, like 7 to 10 days is a good for me. Even 5 days, but you can do whatever you want. You can do 15 days, you can do 30 days, but I've seen people do this fall crock pot challenge group where just every day they share a crock pot recipe, or, you know, there's tons of Beachbody YouTube workout videos on YouTube. Like Autumn Calabrese has a YouTube channel, Shanti has a YouTube channel, Tony Horn has a YouTube channel. So it could be like crock pot slash mini workout. It could be crock pot slash just get sweaty for 30 minutes, just, you know, go out for a run, whatever it is that you want to do, just get creative with it. It could be 5 days, 7 days, 15 days. I like the shorter days because I feel like that's when people are most engaged and most motivated. If you start to kind of extend it a little longer, you like the participation starts to die down a little bit, but that's just an idea. So something else that actually I'm thinking of doing too, but I'm not sure yet, so don't hold me on that, is a 30-day Beachbody on Demand challenge group. So as you know, everyone can get Beachbody on Demand for free for 30 days. Now they do have to put in their credit card information for this one. For the free Beachbody account, they don't have to input any credit card information. But to try Beachbody on Demand for 30 days, they do. But it's so worth it. Like there's, I forgot, like over 3,000 workouts. You can go and Google or YouTube Beachbody on Demand to see all the programs that are available. Not only that, guys, but if you don't know, also the meal plan of all of these workouts are available too. So this would be a good group to host. Again, you can get together with someone and host it. It could be free. You just have to remind them before the 30 days. If you don't wish to keep your on demand, make sure you cancel. And a lot of them might even keep it. So that, you know, be great because you get commission off of that. And if they keep it, you know, it's only $40 every 3 months. That's like $13 a month. Not bad for all the programs they get. And, you know, try to have fun with them. You know, you can do daily prices. You can do weekly prices. You can do little challenges in there. Just to make them fun. And yeah, these are free, and we're not gonna, you know, become millionaires from them. But remember, this last quarter, it's so important for us to plant seeds, build relationships, build connections, because come January, guess who they're gonna go to? They're ready to kick their New Year's resolution to you. You had them in their free Crock Pot group. You had them in that free group. You were on their news feed. They're going to come to you because you were motivated and inspiring and on it during the, you know, when everyone else is gaining those 10, 15 holiday pounds. And guys, I just Googled these. I Googled Crock Pot challenge group and this came up. I Googled on demand challenge group and that came up. So, you know, and they even, it even gives you ideas like here, you know, what things to do. Okay, another one that I saw is a Shakeology 7-day challenge. And as if you know, people can get a 7-day Shakeology sampler for $30. And they get 7 days. Is it 7 days or 6? Oh, I can't remember. I think it is 7 days. 7 packets of Shakeology for $30. That's pretty cool. So they get to try all the flavors. And then what it looked like, what this person did, this coach did, is he gave a free shaker cup. You can get the Shakeology, these shaker cups, you can get them, I think, a bundles of, I want to say 5 for like $7. So that'd be a cool incentive to do. And they get to try Shakeology. They get to be in your group, and you know, in your support group. They're forever your customers. Boom, again, when they are ready to make the investment, they're gonna go to you. So this is another idea for you to do. See, I got a little chat here. Yeah, we get a discount on the Shakeology sampler as well. The thing with that is that you can only buy one your whole lifetime. So if you buy one today with the same email, Beachbody won't let you keep buying them. But you can buy it once and that's it. Same with our customers. But I thought this was pretty neat and the, you know, good idea for the free shaker cup too. It's just a little incentive there. Or You can do, you can buy the shaker cups again. I think it's like $8 and you get like 5 of them. And these could be prizes in your challenge groups, right? You can do like weekly challenges. I've done before where like, everyone who posts a video this week, your name is going to go in a drawing and I'm going to choose a winner. Or I've done a 3-a-day challenge before where for like 15 days, everyone who posts 3 posts a day, doesn't matter what, I put their name in a drawing. At the end of 15 days, I drew a name. This is to keep motivation up, to keep participation up. I've done another like number system, a point system, sorry. Shakeology, like a recipe is 2 points. Sweaty selfies, 3 points. Shakeology recipe is whatever. Like you choose the points that you want to allow. But there's lots of little fun prizes and contests that you can do in your challenge groups to just get people motivated. And hey, yeah, that's a cool one. I haven't done a Shakeology one in a while. I've done a few before, but again, we're gonna just get creative. And again, we're not going to get rich off of these groups, right? That's not the point. And like Carl Deichler said last week at that Superstar Day, he said something that I loved. He said, in the first year, as the Beachbody coach, it kind of feels like we are doing a lot of charity work. And it's so true. And the reason he says that, and the reason it's so true, is because you put in so much work, and what you're receiving back as far as income doesn't quite match up, right? First year. And I know that was the same for me. Like, even though I was earning a decent amount, the amount of work I was putting in didn't add up to how much I was getting paid, right? But the lives that I was changing, the relationships I was building, and charity work is awesome to do, right? It's good to do things for free for people. I don't mind doing it. And then that compounds, right? And I feel like whatever you put out, you get back double, triple. So if you're genuinely helping people and you are not expecting anything in return, that's going to come back to you double, triple. And that's what I'm experiencing now. I feel like now that it's been 2 years, I honestly sometimes feel like I'm too blessed. Like, this is too much. Of course, I work hard for it, but just some days I'm like, really, is this really, like, I'm really earning this amount, this much this week for what I'm doing? And that's because I feel like it's all coming back to me now. So anyways, okay, so another one, you can just do like a daily just move challenge. You can even do this as events. And the cool thing about doing it as an event is that every time you post in the event, all of your friends get to see it. So it's not like in a private group, it's in an event, but you can do a lot of different things. The only thing about being in an event is that the participants might not feel as comfortable posting. Like, a lot of people are very private about their fitness and their weight loss. That's the only thing with that. But like, if you go to Pinterest, you can find lots of these freebie challenges, and they're pretty good. You can add recipes of the day. If you have Beachbody On Demand, you have access to all of those meal plans. You can do whatever you want. Now, something that I've done before is I've started challenges on my actual Facebook. So I'll say something like, maybe like Sunday night, I'll say something like, hey, who's up for a 5-day ab challenge this week? Comment below, and I'll get all these people to comment. And then what I'll do every day around the same time, I'll post like 1 or 2 ab exercises. And what I'll do, I'll tag all the people who said they wanted to be. Like, I don't put them in a group. I do this on my public page. I'll just tag all of them and be like, hey, blah, 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 blah. Here's today's challenge. Make sure you do it. And what this does is, how you're on Facebook and they'll tell you like, so-and-so was tagged by this person. It'll get more eyeballs on you because these people's friends are seeing that they're being tagged on your video. So this will give you more exposure, get more eyeballs on you, which would be awesome, because come New Year's resolution, right, you're going to want as many eyeballs on you as possible. But I've done that before. I probably do it again. And I do this on my personal page because on my like page, I can't tag people. But I'll do it on both. But again, this is another way just to add value for free, build those relationships, build that trust with people, because that's who they're going to come with. But it could be like a squat, it could be like an abs, it could be like a high intensity interval training. It could be a full body. It could be 5 days. It could be 10 days. It could be 3 days. You can either post videos or you can actually just post, one of these thingies. Like copy and paste this. All right, guys, here's day 1. Copy, paste on your status. Tag people who said they want to be in it. Boom, that's it, right? You're adding value. I actually heard something from Tim Robbins, I think, this morning. He said something like, adding value to people's life will never go out of style. It was something like that. I loved it. So that's what I wanted to talk with you guys today, is just get creative. Think of ways that you can add value during this last quarter of Beachbody. And I feel like that also helps us, because we're human too, and we get kind of like in that winter slump. Everyone's saying, no, it's so hard, blah, blah, blah. Why do I even try? That happens. It's happened to me so many times. Even though I tell myself, like, it's gonna pass, it's gonna pass. It's hard not to let it affect you, I know. But doing things like this, where you're having fun and you're helping people and you're being engaged and you have things to do, keeps you motivated just as much as it keeps your challengers motivated. And you got to think of the compounded effect, and you got to think of the resolution effect. This is all going to come back and pay you double come January, right? Got to believe that. I'm living proof of that. All right. Oh, and something else that I have been pondering about, which I've never done before, is having a coaches only challenge group. And I'm thinking maybe November, like the first day of November, maybe leading up to Thanksgiving, we can have our own challenge group with just as coaches. Maybe we can do 21-day fix, 21 days. We can all start at day 1, end on day 21, and we can add personal development to it. That's just something that I'm pondering about, because again, it's hard for me to be motivated in the winter. Like, I hate the winter. I hate the cold. And so I'm going to be bundled up. And I think this would be a good way to just kind of motivate each other and keep ourselves accountable, keep ourselves on track as best as we can. So that's something else that I'm thinking about. I'm shooting for November. And I'm thinking, if you guys want, we can read the book, You Are a Badass. I love that book. I'll read it again. If you don't want to read that one, you can read anyone. But I feel like personal development plus us working out, us drinking our shakes, just having our own group, just us, our coaches, so we can talk about whatever, motivate each other, event, whatever it is that we got to do. I think that would be fun too. So maybe we can do that in November. Okay. The last thing I have, guys, is just to remind you that we're going to have our first Latino event here in Dallas. It's going to be this Thursday already, from 7 to 9 p.m. And you might have seen me share the event. So even if you don't live here in the Dallas area, if you have challenge groups, it would mean the world to me if you could share them in your challenge groups, because you might have challengers or family members or friends who do live in the Dallas area, and just invite them out. It's just going to be like a fun, like casual, our first all Spanish Latino event. We're going to talk a little bit of our stories. Stephanie, she's a 5-star diamond leader. She's going to share her story. I'm going to share my story. Jessica is going to share her transformation story. And then Kim Carver, he's actually from corporate, he's going to be here. And we're just kind of kicking off the whole Latino Market Council. So we really need the support. I feel like we're going to need a lot of help to kind of build this up, because it's brand new. It's never been done before. So I would truly appreciate your support. If you do live here, even if you don't speak Spanish, but just a little bit, you can still go. I am going to be hosting a live 30-minute insanity workout at the end. So this is something that you can tell your challengers, your friends, your family members, because, hey, it's a free workout, right? The event's completely free. You don't have to register, but we would love to see as many people out as possible. So I would really, really appreciate it. I can post the event in our coach group, and if you can share that for us. Starting this Thursday. Oh, I feel winded. Okay, does anyone have any questions about this or anything or ideas? Everyone's good? Yes, 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 yes. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being on. I really appreciate you being on our call and giving me some of your time, and we will keep on talking. You guys have a great night.